Remember F. Richard Jones? F. Dick Jones, to be formal. F.
Yes.
Don Bankhead, F. Pat McKinley. They were the ones who covered up for the police chief, Mike Sellers, who in turn covered up for the 6 cops involved in the murder. Sellers let those cops roam the streets with their guns and badges for a month after the murder. And Sellers and Bankhead and Jones didn't do anything to stop them. Well, for that and many other reasons, the city of Fullerton has rebelled openly against the city council. And recently, Chris Thompson and others behind this recall effort got thousands of signatures, and they presented them to the city clerk's office to see if they can get a recall on the ballot this year. And Chris Thompson's with us. How are you, Chris?
Hey, Joe McKinn, how are you?
Well, what's the verdict here?
Well, the Orange County Registrar of Voters delivered information to the city yesterday that they validated all 3 of the recall petitions, and there's absolutely going to be a recall election against the 3 councilmen.
And it says that the city council has to certify the signatures at a meeting coming up?
They have to certify the election. They essentially have to certify the signatures, they certify the report from the registrar, and then at the next meeting they have to schedule an election.
Could they vote it down? If they have a majority, it would be recalled.
3 out of the 5 are under the recall.
You know, the state law more or less dictates that they have to certify it. I don't know what would happen if an individual decided not to, but it's state law that they have to certify it.
Might they just exempt themselves so it would just be the other 2 council people that go ahead with this, maybe?
Well, they'd have to have a quorum. That would be interesting if they tried that, but I would think even they would think that would work against them.
Oh, they have to have a quorum.
Did you get an idea on how many signatures were verified? Did they do a sampling, or did they go through every one of them?
We collected so many more than were required. We collected over 17,000 signatures, and we needed 10,554 for each guy. And it looked so solid based upon historical, validation rates that they went ahead and did a sample count, which is 5% of the total number of signatures collected. And if the sample rate of validity indicated that we had more than 110% of what we needed, the law is that they have to certify the count, and that's what happened. We got 30% more. Dick Jones, we got 30% more, and Bankhead McKinley, we got about 26 or 7% more.
So Bankhead and McKinley would be significantly impacted because they just got elected to 4-year terms in November.
Did last year. They just got reelected, although, Dick Jones, though, his term expires this year anyway.
So when are you going to have it for the June primary?
I'm almost certain that's what they'll do because, frankly, I think it serves them because it's a Republican primary. And we think we're going to do very well either way. But I think politically it serves them to pick the primary, and it's significantly less expensive to do it during the primary.
Yeah, it looks as if from the register it would cost almost twice as much. It could cost as much as $160,000.
I've heard conflicting reports on that. I've heard.
Why would it cost $160,000? They just have to add another slot to the election ballot that already exists. That extra ink can't cost $160,000.
I think if it's going along with a regularly scheduled election, it's about a fifth. But I haven't done a lot of research on that. But half does not sound right to us.
What would be? I can't imagine what the cost would be.
I can't either. I mean, they're putting up all the processes have to take place anyway. It's just more printing.
Now, it would be 2 questions, right? Wouldn't it be the first question to recall these 3, and then the next would be to find replacements?
There will be 3 questions related to the recall. Do you wish to recall F. Richard Dick Jones, yes or no?
Each one.
And it's the same question. Do you wish to recall him and replace him? And so each of them will have that question. And if the answer is yes, then there will be a 2.5-year seat. There will be 2 seats for Bankhead and McKinley. So assuming they're both recalled, a candidate will declare whether or not they're running for those longer seats, the 2 longer seats, or Dick Jones' shorter seat. The top 2 getters for the McKinley-Bankhead seats will win those replacement seats, assuming we're victorious. and then the top vote getter only will win the Jones seat.
So there'll be two sets of candidates.
There will be two
one
sets
for the
of
longer-term seats. I mean, a set of candidates for the two long-term seats, and then a set of candidates for the one short-term seat.
Yeah, candidates will have to declare one of two tracks, and one the shorter track has one seat, and the longer track has two seats.
Right. Now Jones, Bankhead, and McKinley, they can't appear as replacement candidates, correct?
No, they cannot.
Okay.
Law
so
specifically forbids it.
All right. So this would all be new people running.
Correct.
And is there great interest?
Well, there's interest, and I'll be honest, I have my suspicions about who's going to run, but we're not 100% certain of who's going to run. I hope fiscal conservatives and people that will defend civil rights and fight for a police department that punishes officers that engage in excessive force.
What I was wondering if you'd get aides or lackeys or relatives of Jones, Bankhead, and McKinley, like one of their wives running to replace them.
That's possible. I'm sure that people from that crowd will run, although it puts them in a bit of a rock and a hard spot. They have to do the Bustamante thing where they say vote no on the recall, but if you vote for it, vote for me.
Right. Vote no on my idiot uncle, but
yeah.
Or vote yes on my idiot uncle, but if you vote no, I'll replace him.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here waiting in the wings just in case you decide to vote for the recall.
Yeah, I know.
The Times reports that the three of them apparently do have money raised, the anti-recall effort. A lot of it seems to come from police organizations.
Well, they raised about $30,000, $19,000 from the Fullerton Police Officers Association, $10,000 from the statewide association, and then a couple of other local, Riverside, Newport Beach.
So the Fullerton Police Union gives them a payback for them protecting the murderous cops
and the police chief.
What a shocker! And the very high salaries and the exorbitant pensions, and those guys back those guys 110%, two ex-cops, and they pay them back with $20,000. The amusing thing is they spent something like $52,000 of the $66,000 that they have reported raising through December on just a bunch of worthless mailers that accuse Tony Bushala of doing this for his own pocketbook, which is just laughable.
Yeah, and Bushala was the main organizer of this recall effort, along with Chris here. And Bushala is a real estate
he's got the blog
developer in town, and
he's got the blog. He's not a developer. He's basically a real estate owner. Industrial real estate, and rents it out.
Okay. And what a nice payout that former Chief Sellers is getting, Chris, huh?
Yeah, what's the story on that? So this guy spent 7 months with high blood pressure, and now he's getting all sorts of payments. He's getting an industrial disability payment. He's getting a pension. He's getting a workers' comp payment.
Yeah, well, I can tell you when I grew up in the 80s, I had no idea that some of the best careers, highest paying, most secure, lavish careers were going to be public employee careers.
It's a stunner.
Do you know how much money he's taking in total between the workers' comp and the disability payment and then his regular pension? I mean, how much is he breaking in now?
Well, I know they had a six-figure settlement. I'm not sure what his pension is. I want to say it's mid to high ones. And I haven't totaled.
Is he really that sick, or is just this all a cover to give him a golden parachute on his way out because of the scandal?
Seems fairly notable that he bailed out a month after the Kelly Thomas incident.
Right.
He wasn't. I don't think he was threatening that before. Of course, I don't know. That would be a personnel issue that he couldn't take the heat. His department screwed up and he couldn't take the heat and he left the kitchen.
All right, Chris Thompson, congratulations. At least phase one is complete. It's going to be a recall election coming up, probably in June. Keep us posted.
We will, and thank you so much for all your help, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, that's Chris Thompson, FullertonRecall.com. And again, the news is they have effected a recall. The signatures have been certified. The next step is to actually pick a date for the recall vote, probably the June primary. When we come back.